So we take you back now to the National Freedom Day celebrations, which will take place in Manzilpark in Klerkdorp under the theme Consolidating and Safeguarding Democratic Gains Today. And of course, SABC reporters out in full force. Our reporter Sellwane Khakhau is also there. She's standing by now to give us a little bit more in terms of the preparations in anticipation of the President's keynote address later. Sellwane, good morning.
Well, a very good morning to you, Sakina, and of course the SABC viewers. And we are indeed coming live to you from Manzilpark Stadium here in Klerkdorp in the northwest for the main celebration of Freedom Day, of course, coming almost 30 years later. And of course, we want to understand what some of the challenges are here in the province. And we're talking about socio-economic issues. We're talking also about service delivery challenges. And of course, an event of this magnitude coming to the province puts the province on the map. And obviously, then it becomes difficult to ignore certain issues. I mean, on days leading to this particular day, we saw service delivery challenges being speedily attended to. We saw potholes being patched, for example. We also saw issues of water here and there in the province being addressed. But just to get some answers on these, we're going to speak to the Premier of the province, Bushi Mape. Premier, thank you very much for joining us. Firstly, let's talk about the challenges that are facing the residents, or that the residents are facing. Our colleague Sintle Inglihi earlier on delved much deeper into those, but just to mention a few, we saw potholes being addressed. What does that mean? Because the residents feel like all this time they are being ignored, and now all of a sudden, because the president is coming here, these things are happening quite speedily.
Can I say good morning to your viewers? I'm happy to be speaking to SABC. Last year, at the beginning of last year, we launched what we called Accelerated Service Delivery Program. And I personally was in Mafikeng when we were giving attention to the potholes. That is last year already. And I interacted with all mayors of our municipalities and emphasized to them that we had to address the key service delivery issues, be they water, be they refuse removal, be they lighting, be they sewer, and so on. And so they started doing this type of work. For instance, here in Matlosane, last year, I was here when we were doing repaving of some streets. So the process started some time ago. It's not that we are doing it because the president is coming to the province. The people of the Northwest have indicated that they have three key priorities, and that is water and the roads and dealing with the issue of unemployment. And we as government are giving concentrated attention to these apex priorities.
And also, the president was here not so long ago in the province during the Imbizo, where promises were made to the residents. And many of those promises are still not fulfilled. What can the residents expect?
I don't think it's entirely true that, Minister Senzo Mkhunu is literally camping here in the Northwest, addressing issues of water in Ramotsere, in Naledi, in Makwasi Hills, in Chwaing, in Mamusa. So it's not true that these issues, they are not issues that can be resolved on a single day. Some of them will take time. But as I'm sure you've observed, the issue of water is seriously being removed from getting attention through protests.
And as we wrap up, just last question, your message to the residents of the province for Freedom Day, do they enjoy the freedom?
I think it's quite clear to all of us that there are things that we have done and there are things that must still be done. So we are urging our communities to join us as we address those outstanding matters that should make their freedom meaningful.
Well, thank you very much, Premier. And there you have it, the Premier of the Northwest, Bushi Mabe, saying that they are working on addressing service delivery challenges and socio-economic issues here in the province to make sure that the residents do enjoy the freedom that they have today. And with that, studio, it's back to you.
Thank you so much, Sellwane Khakhau, one of our reporters out there in Manzilpark in Klerkdorp, and that's where the official Freedom Day celebrations will take place. President Cyril Ramaphosa expected to deliver the Freedom Day official keynote message later on today.